ladies and gentlemen, we'd like to get underway. If everyone can find their seats and remember to enjoy the show. Thank you.
Righty, row. Hello, everyone. Hello, welcome to Coming of Age Podcast. Today we have 4 people on the cast. It's very exciting. I love it very much. This is Chase Cummins to my right.
Hello.
And then we have Dan Joplin in Gainesville, Florida.
Hey, that's me. And to my right is Benjamin Gelber.
What's up, everyone? Hello. Howdy doody.
So many of you...
And I'm Alan Lee Sprock.
Right. Okay.
That guy's Alan.
Thanks, guys.
Wait, who?
Benjamin
I got
Gelber, let me
excited.
just say, side note, almost was on the podcast one time, and that's in our back cataloged episodes that hasn't been released yet.
You will hear that episode eventually.
Man, oh man, what a fucking time that was.
Oh, yeah, when I fell asleep.
Yeah, and you're on the couch.
I didn't sleep for 2 days, and I was nearly dead of alcohol poisoning. Yeah, I remember that. Well, not nearly dead, but I was really wasted most of that trip. Yeah.
We got drunk for a while. Me
Halloween
and you
time.
did like outside yard work, and then we got drunk for the rest of the weekend.
Yeah. I remember the yard work. Yeah, we were like laying bricks or something.
Yeah, we built
make it
we built the fire pit in my backyard.
That was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Is building a fire pit really yard work though?
Yeah, it was because
It's work in the yard.
We were
But
like-
you wait,
in the
you had to
yard.
do yard work to build a fire pit.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, we had to do some stuff.
I had to
I just remember
mow
Chase being so fucking wet and sweaty and just like, but doing it. Yeah. I have a memory of it.
But he said,
And me,
"Hey
like,
Ben,
not
guess
really
what? I'm
helping.
all wet and sweaty, but fuck it, I'm doing this."
Yeah.
Fucking doing it.
I was like, working at like 50, 40%. I kind of just stood there.
Well, you hit your
Anything.
you kept smoking your vape pen, and you were just kind
I
of
did.
verbally encouraging me as
Ben-
I moved everything.
Ben, you're the type of person that will laugh. Like
needed
you'll
it.
just make jokes and gawk at yard work, things like that, and then make it
Yeah.
into a joke, and then make everyone quit and go go do something
Yeah,
else.
and go do some stupid shit that is a waste of time anyway.
He's my friend's really making me feel uncool, so I'm gonna stop.
I gotta get shit done. It's okay.
And then we got wasted.
Yeah.
All right, Ben, have you watched anything of note that you like recently that has sparked something inside of you? Are you watching anything at all?
I'm watching Babylon Berlin on Netflix, which I really fucking dig.
Okay,
That's really cool.
I've been debating starting that.
It's fucking awesome. I could go into it, but like, so far, it's like, I know that's like the most Germany has ever spent on a television show, and it really shows. And they go through like the whole Weimar Republic of Germany, and they're following like a guy after World War I, and all these guys like soldiers are coming back, and they're all really fucked up. And it's awesome. It's really cool. A lot of good music.
I believe
great.
Set the period done. They do it good.
I believe
Sounds
Travis Dutton was talking about that actually as well. Like he's been
He
watching
was.
a lot of German television, and he was talking
Yeah.
about that, and he was also talking about The Same Sky as well. Have you seen
Yeah,
it?
the espionage show. I don't have Hulu or Amazon Prime is what it is.
It's on Netflix. Is The Same
Is
Sky?
it on Netflix?
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I watched
Okay.
I watched the first episode, and it was fan-fucking-tastic.
Oh, I haven't seen any of this. I've been meaning to watch Babylon Berlin, but
Really good.
The
It's really fucking cool.
Same Sky, I think that's what it's called. Maybe there's another word like before
I don't know.
under the same sky or some shit. It's fan-fucking-tastic.
Something like
The first episode
Yeah.
was at least, so it's very interesting how they're teaching spies to be like espionage, like sexual espionage, like spies
okay.
though. Like they're supposed to be romancing women and stuff like that to get like
so like
Certain
what Roald
secrets.
Dahl did with the
Yeah.
yeah
Yeah.
with the
Fucking for England.
what the fuck is that family's name? The
They have the mansion in North Carolina.
Oh,
Biltmore. The Biltmore.
Yeah.
The Biltmore.
The Vanderbilts. Or the Vanderbilts.
No. It's
The Biltmore
yeah.
Estate.
Biltmore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Vanderpump Rules.
So, yeah.
That, yeah.
He was dating that Biltmore
That.
as a spy
That's a
for the
great house.
MI6.
That's a great place.
Yeah.
I've been there before.
I have
one
too.
time.
They have the chessboard that they set Napoleon Bonaparte's heart on.
Fart?
Yeah, when they did his autopsy.
Fart. Set his fart on.
His
Yeah.
heart.
A heart. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought like he farted on a chessboard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like that's kind of interesting history, I guess.
I'm sure he has farted on a chessboard.
If you had that information, that would be
Yeah.
fan-fucking-tastic.
Well, if they had fucking his fart in a capsule, that would be pretty fantastic.
we could clone him. His DNA's all
We're
wrapped
gonna
up
clone
in
you
his
from your
Yeah.
fart DNA.
You just get like it's just Napoleon Bonaparte, but he just is like a shit monster.
It just starts. It starts one of those.
It's like a ghost fart.
Starts one of those Jurassic Park DNA videos where it's just a little strand of DNA coming out of a shit jar. I'm in your shit.
Just like I was in Russia's.
How?
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Have you guys watched Dark yet? The German, like.
still have not. I really need to. It's
No.
really
I
the
haven't seen
only
it.
thing I've seen is the fucking the non-subtitle version, the English version with you, Chase.
You
and
gotta
it was
watch-
hilarious.
yeah.
Watch
You gotta watch
watch
with the
it.
German.
Watch it for like 2 minutes without like just with English subtitles and not the German way, which you should. You should do it the German way and just
Wait, like,
read.
We
Dubbed-
should all do it the German
Is
way.
it dubbed over in English or is it?
Yes,
So-
it's dubbed
so-
in English, and the dubs are so fucking
Yeah, the
bad.
Netflix dub is terrible, but I mean the show you can watch it in German with English subs, but when you play it for the first time, it's the English dub.
It
And
like
you have
picks
to, like
it for you.
You have to like pause it and go to the language settings and like set your settings, which is easy. But like if you just watch it with the English dub for 10 minutes,
The tone is fucked.
you're gonna laugh your ass off. You
It's
probably
like,
won't continue the show.
This isn't supposed to be funny.
Yeah, it's very serious.
This guy is saying this line like it's a comedy.
It's like
So-
watching River Money.
Oh god.
Dan.
Damn it.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah, that
Just
was,
like
yeah.
no direction at all, and it's like serious performances with people that you didn't know were in the movie, and then he didn't tell you, and what's his name, and you guys are doing like comedy performances, and it's just
Yeah.
like so weird tonally.
it doesn't. It changes like within the scene. Like the tone changes in that movie. It's
Hell yeah, reshoots. Joss
even-
Joss Whedon
Yeah.
and motherfucking Justice League, dude. Can I just say one thing? Banana spiders. I learned this thing today. Do you guys know what they do to male humans?
They killed him.
But if you
What?
get bit by a banana spider as a male human, their venom can give you an erection from like it causes blood flow to like
Right.
Your
like,
dick?
like fucking supercharged pretty much.
Yeah,
and it
like
can
a nice
it can
Viagra pill.
it can give you a fucking like that's how like they use it they I don't know exactly what they do, synthesize and fucking whatever. They use it to make like Viagra and things like that.
That's awesome.
Because it will give you a fucking boner for like 5 straight hours that will fucking throb and hurt and is a fucking pain. And I just
It can kill
heard
you.
about this and read about it on the internet a little bit. My girlfriend told me about it. She said the same thing. She said she heard about it and was critical and then looked it up and was like, oh, it's very true. And that's fucking crazy because like...
Is that why they're called banana spiders?
right?
Like,
Also,
Like-
they're in bananas. They're just on banana trees.
Like everything
no, I
about
think
them.
tarantulas are all up. Banana spiders, I think it's because they have the yellow web and they have like an elongated.
Exactly, but
thorax.
also they give you boners, and
Yes.
and just everything about them is perfect for their name.
So
They're
should
all
I-
over the place
yeah.
out here.
Should I go in the backyard
know.
and test it
Yeah.
out?
Yeah, exactly. Like
I've handled banana spiders before. Like
My name is
you
Ben
know what? It
Gelber.
was just when I was 12 and already had a
They're-
5-hour
they're
erection.
Fucking terrifying. Those things are so goddamn scary to look
You had to give a science report that day, and your boner hasn't gone away since.
yeah,
at. Right.
See, like
It's the sabotage of the dick.
It's like the thing where like a kid in high school is gonna be like, I'm gonna take Viagra, and then he has to like duct tape his dick down. But instead, it's the further version where it's like stoned
Does
alone.
that happen to people?
I know one person specifically that someone
Well,
did that.
name
But
names.
well, you don't.
This is-
Okay, well, it wasn't in my high school, but someone told me, like the friend told me, but they were from Minnesota. You don't know them at all.
Gotcha.
That's
Okay.
Sam Eckerson.
There you go,
That
Sam.
honestly sounds believable.
yeah.
Yeah, that sounds
It
like
is.
the
It's the
person
same
that would
person.
happen to.
Sounds like his name. That's who it is.
It was just like, yeah, duct tape my dick around my leg.
God. Sounds like the worst solution. It's a waistband. You pop it in the waistband.
yeah.
I have, like,
Well,
a-
when
what
it's
it's for.
I mean, I haven't taken it before, so I wouldn't know. As a young man taking it, I imagine it's pretty fucking strong.
Yeah, it's
Just hang a
probably-
lot of boots on that.
It's like speed for your dick.
But
It's too much.
Like it's like that, but instead it's the like, hey, let's go get bit by banana spiders, and then we'll tape our dicks down.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. It took 3 hours to get to that, so it was just.
I also, the whole time we were having this conversation, I had this weird mental image. You know, like in cartoons where they'd smoke the cigar, but it was actually like a piece of dynamite,
Yeah.
like exploded.
Yeah.
That's what I imagined my dick, like a predator. Face.
Yeah,
It's
yeah. Just like,
I think that was on. I think that was on
peels into
Pain
four,
Olympics.
Like,
The Demigorgon, fucking.
Yeah,
But it's my
it's like-
dick.
Oh
Yeah.
my god!
My dick in the upside down place or whatever the fuck that is. Yeah.
And then somebody else has an alien dick, and like another dick comes out from their dick
Oh
hole.
no! Ouch! God damn it!
Yes.
what if somebody had
And
a
then it's just
predator
an
dick?
e-fucked video. And it's real.
Yeah, no, that was on Pain Olympics. Pain Olympics for sure.
Oh God, fuck the Pain Olympics. Fuck that shit. That was
Yeah.
that
yeah,
was
yeah,
a
yeah.
notorious.
Let's get back to anything that someone has watched, perhaps.
Oh.
Okay, I saw Deadpool 2.
I thought you had
Yeah.
seen that.
No, I never saw it.
How
Saw
did you
the-
like it?
It's all right. It was,
Yeah, it was all right. Did you like the comedy?
it's fine.
Did it seem overbearing?
A little bit.
It was overbearing as fuck. Have you got Dan? You liked it a good bit, right?
Yeah, I mean, I liked it as much as I like any of the superhero movies. Actually, I liked it slightly more. I liked it kind of on the level of like a Thor Ragnarok, because it's a superhero movie that doesn't take itself seriously, which all these ones are doing these days,
Yeah.
and it's just like
I appreciated that. I like seeing the kid from Hunt for the Wilder People as the villain.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
the little kid.
Oh yeah.
that New Zealand kid.
Oh, baby.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's cool.
I like him. I thought Josh Brolin was funny. Honestly, the funniest part of the movie is when Josh Brolin warps back into the correct time period, and there's those two guys on the truck, and the guy's explaining wiping his ass with baby wipes and how it's like better, like it's the best way to wipe your ass. And I thought
right.
that was the funniest part of the whole movie. You know, he's totally right.
I mean, I thought Ryan Reynolds blowing his own brains out was pretty good.
It was pretty fantastic.
When he
Yeah.
goes back to fix the timelines and like goes back to him reading the Green Lantern script and being like, "Oh fuck yeah," and then just like shoots himself. In the head.
that was
I
one of my
didn't get to
favorite
see
parts.
that. I didn't get to see any of the post-credit stuff.
Oh, it just wasn't part of.
yeah.
It wasn't on. Like, my Admit Me died, and I was like, "Well, I'm tired."
Oh, it's all right.
Yeah.
It's a couple of jokes that it's probably on YouTube already. They're
Yeah, I was
literally
looking
the
it up.
Blu-ray is about to come out, and they're releasing a bunch of deleted scenes and like scenes that were cut for like being too much. And some of them, there's one in particular that they just released of him in the X Mansion, like just trying to act responsible. And the things that are coming out of Ryan Reynolds' mouth are just always fantastic.
I mean, he's charming. Like, I definitely like him as Deadpool. I just think the movies are like, like for all the self-awareness, they're still cliched as fuck.
That's true.
Like, that's my
Yeah.
problem with it. And Deadpool's not a cliche.
Well,
It shouldn't be.
I mean, they need everyone to come to the theater.
Yeah.
The thing is, they gotta sell movie tickets.
I know.
And you know how movies are always accused of like that they're not funny at all. Like certain movies, they have to be like, even if it's serious content,
Yeah.
they have to kind of be funny. That one takes it way too fucking far. It's just too funny.
Yeah.
And that's a quality where it's like, if it's too funny, I don't even want to watch this shit anymore.
Well,
I'm tired of it.
every single moment you have to be fucking reeling from the laughter because everything's a joke. That it sometimes will just plateau, and you're like, "Oh man, like,
Can you guys like do something else already? Fuck.
please give us a moment." I don't need something sappy because it sometimes goes like that. Like he'll go from like one extreme to the other. That it's like, okay, now this isn't really believable anymore.
Yeah.
But
no, it just goes back to what Biz said. Like they need everybody to come to the theater, and like you can't have Deadpool you can't make a movie of the Deadpool comic where he just literally kills everyone, kills everyone for like.
I get that. I'm not opposed necessarily to them editorializing a little bit to get people into the theater. I'm just saying like the plot itself felt cliched. Like the whole his girlfriend dies at the beginning, then he tries to kill himself, he can't die, and he keeps trying to get back to her, and there's that whole apartment thing where he's like stopped by
I
the
know what you mean.
like that all is like a massive cliche, and there's like other ways to write the story to like avoid that or shoot it or something.
But luckily, it's the last Deadpool film, and they're going to make X-Force films now where he's not the central character.
Well, and that's going to be cool.
And he's probably going to be. They're already like I think in pre-production, like writing and stuff for the X-Force movie. So it's gonna.
I'm down to see X-Force.
Dope.
I mean, I will say I didn't hate the movie. Like I was fine with it.
It kind of gave me a headache.
Just a little bit. There was one guy in the movie who looked like Justin Theroux from Zoolander. He had like dreads in the prison, and there was like multiple times where I kept like pausing it and like looking up on my phone to double check that it wasn't Justin
I
Theroux.
swear that's him.
So I was like, he's just reprising his Zoolander role, and that's a hilarious joke because then they're implying that the guy from Zoolander with the dreads who plays the fucking records is some kind of mutant. And it's like, that's a funny joke.
That would be very funny, and I can see them doing that.
And that's why I like kept pausing it.
Unfortunately,
and I was like, it's just like distracting.
But all right, guys, let's get into the first episode that we're doing under the coming of age theme.
Coming of age. It's our
Namesake, baby. This is our podcast. We're coming of age
again.
Coming of age.
We're coming. We're coming. We're coming. We're coming. We're coming.
Of age.
All right. So, before we get into the first coming of age movie that we're going to do in this series, we're going to outline a little bit of the history of coming of age stories, kind of some things that you're like are expected or like necessary for the genre. And we'll start with like where it comes from. Like the term coming of age goes back to an old German word from the 1790s, and we'll have.
Oh, you mean Bildungsroman? Oh, you're talking about Bildungsroman?
It's Bildungsroman.
Oh, yes.
Bildungsroman.
Bildungsroman. Oh, yes, it's an educational novel or something. A novel of the formation of the education, the culture, focuses on the psychology, the moral growth of the protagonist from the youth to the adulthood. Character change is extremely important. Bildungsroman.
Yes.
You read that outline amazing.
That was Wikipedia.
Good job.
Thanks, Wiki.
Thank you. Thanks, Internet.
Yes, Bildungsroman is pretty much a formation novel, which is the formation of our main character throughout the novel.
Yeah, well, and it's the growth. It's him being educated. Of,
Him
like, what
or
the world is
her.
like. Yeah. Well,
In our perspective.
well, now.
Or they, or it, or shit.
Now.
It's shit's perspective.
It's shit Napoleon's perspective in the New World.
The connotations we're making with that are terrible.
Did you know he farted on a chessboard?
Please don't come back to that. We can't move that far back.
There has to be callbacks. There has to be callbacks.
All right, everyone try to make as many callbacks as you can. These are the rules of the podcast.
Call the callback.
Callback. So the term Bildungsroman is dated back to a publication from this guy William Meister, and his apprenticeship by this guy Wolfgang Goethe in the 1790s.
Golf.
And
Gautier.
it was influenced by folklore tales of that are typically about dunces or the youngest child going into the world.
Yeah, like Merry and Pippin.
Yeah, kind of. It's like Merry and Pippin.
And then they become men.
And
Yeah,
they go seek their fortunes. We have to bring Lord of the Rings into this.
I was gonna mention Lord of the Rings. I just think of this like the time period that it started, and I'm like, oh yeah, Middle Earth.
Yeah, everything began there.
1790s, Middle Earth.
They started in the Shire, but they ended in Mordor. Coming of age.
Wow, my God.
All right, so some of the themes that are like common in this, in like the ultimate theme of coming of age, is maturity.
Yeah.
It's like growing up. And in most of these stories, they have to do it gradually, and it's a difficult process.
Yeah, and there's a psychological loss of innocence and a gaining of maturity a lot of the times as well. Most of the time.
Yeah,
And,
it's like a shedding of childhood, which is like a traumatic experience, but a lot of like oftentimes. So they're often dark.
Finding yourself and coming out the other side.
There's
of
often dark
childhood.
aspects. Which is also all these stories usually begin with an emotional loss of some kind, which is very similar to just The Hero's Journey by Joseph Campbell.
Yeah, similar to a Call of Action sort of thing.
Yes,
Exactly.
very much so.
They have to go out, they have to go on the journey, find a mentor, go into the cave, feel all the feelings, and they come out, and they get a sword and stuff, and they slay the beast, and then they get a remedy, and they go back, and it's an elixir, and they drink it, and everything goes back to great.
Exactly.
Yes.
You summarized Joseph Campbell the fastest I've ever seen anybody do it. That was perfect.
Yeah, if you've ever seen any movies like Star Wars The Last Jedi,
Fuck that.
Indiana Jones and the Crystal Scare. Things like
him! They raped him!
Squeal Boy! Things
Squeal,
like
pig it.
Deliverance. I'm kidding.
There was no they didn't return to society with the elixir in Deliverance. Yeah, they left with an elixir. It just wasn't the one that helped anybody.
Yeah, it was the spunk elixir.
The spunk elixir.
Drink this, you'll get a boner.
Spunk skunk.
You're dead. But movies that do associate a little more with it.
Yeah, we've got like stories that associate
novels.
with it. Novels. So like 19th century is kind of when we see this thing explode, and you get stories like Jane Austen's what's it called? Emma. Yeah. Oh, I don't know why I'm saying what's it called, which is literally Clueless. Emma is Clueless, by the way.
Yeah.
Which is another.
Yeah, it's a good movie.
Yeah, good movie.
I
Also,
love
Pride
Paul
and
Rudd.
Prejudice is a coming of age story. You've got Dickens, Oliver Twist, and David Copperfield. Those are like very, very few of the examples of the 19th century coming of age stories.
Yeah.
There's a lot.
A brave little toaster.
Oh, very good. Goes on an adventure.
Was that a
fucking learns
19th
little
century
bit.
tale?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah.
Toasters in the 19th century?
Oh, God, that's like a real...
Toy Story. They all learn that Andy doesn't, truly.
Yeah, Andy,
Love them.
Andy came of age off
Like
screen
adopted
and then-
children. Andy will never truly love any of them.
Like a dolphin loves its babies.
My sister just texted me and said, Buckaroo Banzai is on Hulu. I just started it.
I thought you were gonna say my sister just adopted a baby
My sister just adopted a baby and she named it Buckaroo Banzai.
and
Dude,
doesn't
that'd be an
love it.
awesome fucking name for a kid.
Buckaroo Banzai Loose Brock.
That's not
Hey,
a
what's
bad
up,
name.
Buck?
That is.
Yo, what's up, Buck? Bonsai!
Bonsai's middle. Bonsai is a middle name. Honestly, pretty. I'll do it.
Fucking bonsai.
I would do that. Just name your kid Bonsai.
But going back into like a more modern adaptation, even though it's the 80s still, John Hughes as a director is someone who brought coming of age stories in a very popular way.
So these coming of age stories that like have been present
mainstream.
forever.
Yeah.
Like the Odyssey, Odysseus' son, his whole part is like a coming of age tale. Like they go back. They've been around for a while. They just didn't get named anything. Like they didn't have a name to it until the late 18th century, early 19th century.
Oh, like Intwix Lug Roman? Intwix Lungs? Fuck.
Anvik Longs Roman? Anvik Longs Roman?
Anvix Lung Roman?
This sounds Austrian. It's not even like
It's German as fuck.
Kunstlos Roman.
Twink.
Kunstlos Roman.
Even the Germans are like, fuck that word.
Yeah. So Anvik Longs Roman is the development novel, which focuses more on like the inner development of a character. Can you say that one, man? I can't pronounce it. Erzi Hogs Ramen. Erzi Hogs Ramen.
Where is it?
Erzi Hogs Ramen.
Let me try it angry German.
I got it.
Roman.
Yeah, it's more like
there
that.
we go.
It's
yeah.
got it.
Roman.
Erzichatsroman. Erzichatsroman.
Roman.
I'm gonna make a mark.
Roman. There we go. You just have to be so furious when you say the word.
Yeah, it's like really aggressive, these titles.
Right!
Yeah.
For what should be like a spiritual
it's like-
awakening sort of a novel. Leave it to the Germans. They make everything sound just very aggressive.
Yeah, I mean, these are stories that everyone has to go through. Everyone goes from childhood to adulthood.
But it's serious,
Yeah,
guys, so...
but it's not this aggressive. Maybe it is. I don't know. In Germany,
I
it
guess
might be
I guess
very
it is.
aggressive.
Well, no, but I guess kind of the point with this movie and everything is even those little things seem really aggressive.
Yeah.
You know, when you're in those moments. Yeah.
Yeah, you're not wrong about that. And maybe that's why these German words are the most appropriate ways to categorize them.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, you got the education novel and then the Künstlerroman, which is the artist novel, which is the coming of age story of an artist, which is like a very specific subgenre, apparently. So all of this translates into our time as mostly teen movies. And a lot of that now for us is defined by John Hughes films. But before John Hughes, you had things like The 400 Blows by Truffaut. You had
Stand By Me and The Sandblop.
yes, those films.
It's a good movie.
The Sandlot and Stand By Me is like the perfect example of how coming of age is like defined, quote unquote, in our society, which is usually it's a male protagonist. It takes place at young adulthood, so teenage, like early teenage years, and it's usually a flashback. And both The Sandlot and Stand By Me are that.
So The Sandlot's funny. I was listening to last podcast on the left, and they were literally talking about The Sandlot, and they were like, the message of The Sandlot is find a bunch of weirdos that are exactly like you, and they're all there, and it's super easy to become friends, and everything will work itself out.
It's a pretty good message.
Yeah, it's not a
pretty
bad
good
one.
message.
Yeah, it's like it totally one in a million.
It's make good friends. That's the message. Make good friends.
And play baseball.
And fight the beast.
Yeah.
Fight the beast.
That is a great movie, but
Within.
so those are all your classic examples. Now, John Hughes kind of like flipped all of that on his head, I would say. I don't know how you guys feel about this, but I think
John Hughes made terrible
By
films.
making
after
lady
that.
protagonists.
he made lady
yeah.
protagonists. They were not flashbacks. And ultimately, at the end of a John Hughes movie, the message was, don't grow up so fast. It was like the maturity that they gained was, don't rush to be an adult. I mean, you see that in most of his movies.
Like Adam Sandler says in Billy Madison when he grabs the kid's face.
Oh, yeah.
Exactly.
Don't grow up!
Billy Madison would be the literal opposite of the John Hughes message. It is the man-child coming of age story.
Abby Doobie. So let me say that you guys know that Owen Wilson terrible comedy that I never saw, but Drill Bit Taylor.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah.
Do you
I saw it
know
in
that
theaters.
that
Yeah, I've
is
seen
a adapted script from John Hughes?
What, really?
That is a John Hughes script that was adapted into Drill Bit Taylor.
That's insane.
I should have just thrown that in the trash.
Apparently he did. Someone picked it up and fucking
Someone picked
rewrote
it up out
it.
of the trash like 30 years later or something.
Dusted it up and said, "Hey,
This looks good.
This is pretty good. We'll put Owen Wilson in it." Wow.
Wow. Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
Hey, buddy, come here.
Hey, buddy. I'm gonna teach you how to fight, buddy. Why are you
Fuck
letting?
it, I've seen that movie.
Why are you
I
letting
have
these
seen
guys
that
beat
movie.
these up? Why are you letting these guys
McLovin
beat
is
you
in
up?
it, no?
Yeah, he is.
Then they do like a Renaissance festival.
Yeah.
No.
No.
You're
that-
talking
no,
about
that's
role
role
models.
models.
Or role
That's-
models is
Okay.
actually
That's
good.
the same
Yeah,
movie,
Role
but
Models
with
is
one
pretty
person
funny.
instead of two.
So I haven't seen Drill Bit Taylor, but
Role
Don't waste
models
your
is
time.
You
with
may have. You
Paul,
may have.
Paul
though,
Rudd
is
going
the thing.
like, "You're an idiot. Venti is 20 at the fucking place." And they're like, "Yeah, it's 20 ounces. You fucking dick." It's fantastic.
That's the one where he says, "Tell her you miss her whispering eye."
Yeah.
You just said vagina.
No, is that one or is that Superbad?
That's
that he
role
says
models.
That?
That's role
That
models.
is role models.
Yeah.
Yeah, dog. Come
Yeah,
on, get
dog.
your super bad shit.
Yeah, dog.
Oh man.
Show shit in check.
Oh man, shit, man.
Well, let's talk about 8th
Shit.
grade. So,
Oh, yeah.
kind of the Molly Ringwald, John Hughes world.
Yeah, we mentioned that to lead into the film that we're talking about today, which is 8th Grade by Bo Burnham, which I think is more in line with what John Hughes made as coming-of-age films than the quote-unquote traditional quote coming-of-age film. But it is inarguably a coming-of-age film.
But Chase also told me some information about Molly Ringwald
Oh yeah,
tweeting to Bo Burnham
yeah.
today
She tweeted.
as well.
It wasn't today. It was like last week. But yeah,
Oh,
she
yeah,
tweeted
yeah.
at Bo Burnham and said that 8th Grade was the most realistic depiction of adolescence that she's ever seen. So that's
Damn.
Yeah,
high
no,
praise.
that
And she used to be
That's
adolescent.
really-
yeah.
That's what I was thinking throughout this whole. I mean, of course, that's what we were all thinking throughout this whole movie. I fucking loved it. It was so mundane, but so dramatic and like, but not like overly dramatic or anything.
Yeah, it put you in the mind of that, like, what was she supposed
It
to be
gave
like?
you that anxiety of
at
8th
13,
grade. Like, you
14,
felt,
yeah, it was like,
Honestly, I was just uncomfortable most of the movie.
exactly. You were,
I
that
was
was
just
8th
really
grade.
uncomfortable.
That was being
I
that was
wasn't-
being in 8th grade.
I wasn't uncomfortable to the point of like I was squeamish or looked
yeah,
away.
because it was very funny and entertaining
Yeah.
as well.
I didn't
Yeah.
feel embarrassed for her. I was just like, oh my god, that is such an awkward. That is
Yeah.
such an awkward.
I'm
time
just like,
period.
this is exactly what I've been through. Like,
Yeah.
so many fucking
no,
people.
I was getting the squeamies. I was getting like
Yeah,
the-
yeah.
Getting pretty-
yeah.
I got squeamish in
Yeah,
a couple
no, I was
scenes, particularly
Oh my-
the
the car.
But,
scene.
yeah, for sure.
The
The
truth or
ride
dare, which we'll
was-
get into.
yeah.
biggest squeam.
But like that's because you're in her shoes so hard and you feel. Sorry. You feel.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah,
Jerk me off
Yeah.
here at this podcast.
Yeah, you feel that
I know how
shit.
to do it, dude.
Yeah,
All
you
right,
know, you
listen,
really
they-
feel
the
that.
girls may not know
I
how to
feel
do it,
that.
I got you.
You're probably right. Anyway,
Yeah, you
What were we talking?
you are like in her shoes so hard in that scene. Like
You're
that-
in her
like,
shoes
the-
hard.
You're yeah. Fuck you guys. Yeah.
You're Harvey Weinstein in her shoes.
I don't know.
Damn! All this
not what I
shoe.
was
This
trying to
is
say.
mine. This is my shoe. Sign this fucking contract, shoe.
I'm gonna fuck the shit out of that shoe.
I'm gonna make you
That's
famous,
basically all
shoe.
that dude's
I'm
got
gonna
left.
come on the
All
plants
he's
in
got
that
is shoes
shoe.
To fuck. Oh, potted plants and shoes. That's my favorite, actually. Like the whole Me Too movement is like that's its whole thing. That's separate, but as far as this whole Harvey Weinstein thing, goes, as far as it's true or not, if he really did jerk off into a potted plant, that's like just an amazing tidbit. That's an amazing little factoid behind this whole literally culturally like shifting thing that's happening right now. He jerked off in a potted plant.
Dude, if that was a fern, you just gotta throw that away.
Probably.
Like if it's a broadleaf, you can wipe that off, but a fern, that's just, you gotta throw that thing away.
I'm sure that plant is ruined
I think
forever.
there's a spray.
That plant
I think
needs
there's
as
a
much
That plant is
therapy as
pregnant.
women.
Yeah. You got fucking Harvey Weinstein.
There's like a fungus
Disgusting.
spray that you can fucking spray.
Oh
out.
god.
Yeah, you can clean that plant a lot faster than you can clean the emotional damage off.
What
of
is
people.
everyone smelling right now? What is that?
What's that smell?
What's the? Let's all waft in our minds and our imagination. Okay.
Hey,
Did somebody put bleach on this fern?
who bleached the fern? Harvey.
Ew. Disgusting.
Yeah, it is
So gross.
so bad.
Okay, so anyway, 8th grade.
Fucking
I'm gonna bleach.
I guess this is jizzing on everything is pretty much 8th grade. I mean, that was 8th grade for me.
Yeah.
That was just coming on a lot of different shit. I probably came on a potted plant at some point in 8th grade.
I didn't.
I mean,
I mean, pretty much the first fucking like 16 years of my life were just daydreaming, like every single day.
yeah.
Yeah, daydreams. Yeah.
Daydreaming about crazy fucking fantastical shit. Like, you know, it got less so after, but still continued. But like, first 16 years of your life, you're just daydreaming. Your life's a fucking movie the entire time, which is exactly what this movie presents itself as. Which is true. Like, that's how our life feels. I don't know if that's everyone. You know, it's obviously not everyone, but a lot of us, you know, growing up in America for sure. That's the feeling. And there are super fucking embarrassing moments that are so fucking haunting. And you feel that shit in this movie. The panic attack in the bathroom before the pool party in this
Oh, God.
movie, that is
So well
that
done.
was honestly the car ride with whatever his face is, Raphael or whatever the fuck, I don't remember. his name.
Aaron Eckhart.
Take
Ralph.
your shirt off.
Yeah, that was uncomfortable, but really the pool scene right before the pool, that panic attack, that was the biggest thing. And especially if you listen to Bo Burnham, like how he talks about panic attacks and how he would have them before going up and doing stand-up. Like, that's purely from his experience with it, him directing that scene. And he does a fucking great job. I've never had a panic attack in my life. I've had a terrible acid trip, and that's very close, I'm sure.
I've had one panic attack, and it was when I was in a restaurant and a baby was crying behind me, and like I was like sick, and then it like and it was like really loud, and I just like fucking had a panic attack in the middle of a restaurant.
Yeah, you can't fucking breathe.
Yeah, you
That's
can't
the
breathe. You feel like you're dying, and you're just like, it was bad.
the ultimate sense of doom, like your life is ending.
Yeah, it feels like life's over.
That shit sucks.
And like I like how in that scene, Bo Burnham doesn't like break the tension necessarily. Like, it's not like the door opens and like there's a joke or something, you know? It's not like, oh, we're back in reality. It's like she opens the door and she has to walk out. Then like that's
No, there weren't extra jokes. That was what's great about this. There weren't extra jokes. There wasn't extra drama. It was just like incredibly realistic. It was just like, and that alone, just in the realism, was enough to provide the drama and the like this bit of comedy and everything that was there too. But like just the realism of it.
I think it helped a lot that Elsie Fisher is a incredibly talented actress. Like, she's incredibly talented. She was hitting the timing of her lines, and like, I mean, like, she had a job.
it was so fucking believable that it was goddamn unbelievable, like how well she was doing it.
Absolutely.
It seemed real.
Yeah, it felt
it did.
Yeah, it felt real, but I felt like the style that he shot the movie in also like
Provided fantastic.
yeah, it like aided it
Yeah.
completely. Like the way he would use music whenever she sees her crush and that fucking
Oh.
that Aiden guy or whatever,
Oh,
and that fucking
yeah.
song kicks in, or when she's at the pool party and the camera pulls out from like her standing in the window and that song's playing, and then it cuts through all the kids like being like weird as fuck.
Oh yeah, that was
The
great.
music in that movie was fucking awesome.
It
was
really
so
like,
That
good.
music was so good.
it was like not a realistic style, quote unquote, Like if
Yeah.
you're watching like The Bicycle Thief or something, like some like Italian.
It was his
neorealism.
style, you know?
Yeah, there was like a style to it, but like it still felt so grounded in reality that which I think is part of the performances, but it was like this really strange symbiosis of like
When they would do like the montages and also like her vlog, when it'd be like not necessarily uplifting, but just real moments, they would have this that like just arpeggiating synth in the background that was just fucking carried shit so high, and I loved the feelings I was getting. I don't know, it's really good. The music supplemented so well. It's a woman, I can't remember her name, that did the original score, and
Andrea something.
Yeah,
she's
it was
like a fame. I don't know. I feel like she won like best album, or Pitchfork gave her like best album of the year a couple years back.
well, I want to check
It's,
out her
like,
shit.
similar to that music.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
also what really I think put you in her point of view and like was the most effective is how in the middle of these scenes the audio would cut out and you'd hear the 3 beeps and then it'd go into one of her YouTube speeches and it would just play over the scene. And I felt like all of those were used at the perfect moments, and it like really put you into her point of view.
Mm-hmm.
It really made you feel like you were like there, like you were that kid again. Which I don't know, it's just an interesting stylistic choice, but it was like really effective, I thought.
It was.
The moment I left the theater, I was like, I'm glad I don't have to live that anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I'm so glad I'm past that.
Yeah.
Because that it's like, it's not that it made me squeamish or uncomfortable. It's just like you sense the vulnerability that she's going through.
Yeah.
And you're just like, fuck, God damn it, get past it. And like, you have to sit and watch the movie. You have to feel it.
And then you keep seeing her like get close to getting past it, and then like something else.
Yeah, some shit happens.
But
It's-
like ultimately at the end of the movie, it's kind of like what we were saying with the John Hughes films. It takes place over the course of a week, and it's like she's trying to grow up too quickly. And then at the very end, like that dinner date with the Gabe kid, which was super charming.
Fucking love Gabe.
Gabe's
Love
so
Gabe.
good.
best.
Love
Yeah.
Gabe.
And then
Everyone does.
It kind of like illustrates like she's in the right place and she doesn't need to grow up too fast. Like she needs like her realizing that she just needs to like enjoy where she's at.
Well, it's like
the
through
best
her
thing.
vlogging, you know, like the pressure to be, you know, gorgeous as like a young woman and like being popular and all this stuff. She kind of just realizes that it's all, you know, kind of bullshit, and like actually live her life, you know, in a different way by the end of the film.
Yeah, so she does end up maturing a little bit, but then instead of like going from childhood to adulthood, she just goes from childhood to being like, I just need to like be me.
Which even like
I don't need
at
to
the
grow
pool
up.
party, like
Yeah.
she's still, even though she goes through all of that, she ends up karaokeing after, and like literally like still has a good time just by being like, okay, like I need to get out of this headspace. Like you can just have fun, just be yourself.
I love that they didn't let you hear her sing, and it was just it wasn't like this cringy like watching her sing karaoke and all the people just watch her
No,
do
it was it just had the uplifting of like, yes, her doing it.
She's doing
and
it.
the way what probably it sounded like to her was just like, yeah, fucking I'm doing it, so it sounds great.
Yeah, and but then she's like giving the YouTube thing over top, and it's like this, and the speech is about her overcoming her fear and stuff, and it's just like, I don't know, it's just so well executed.
So can we talk about the mother of the like bitchy girl? How
was-
she seems to have a crush on Kayla's father,
The dad.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I thought that was gonna be a way bigger arc, which is fine that it wasn't at all.
And it
It's
was
totally
nothing.
fine.
Yeah, no.
But I like right away, which was just like,
funny little
hey,
detail.
where's your dad? Like at the pool
she
party,
looks for
like-
him. Yeah, and she just like looks for him. And then she's married, and the dad with the cake, and he's like, I picked up this goddamn cake at 8 o'clock this morning.
You're gonna fucking eat it.
It's not time for the cake yet. I picked this goddamn cake up at 8 this morning.
It's so good.
I picked up this cake over 200 times.
So it also, why would you have most quiet award at your fucking?
They did it at
school?
our school.
I know, but why would you? Like that's I know it's
Just to make a kid
I,
feel
I
bad,
know
like-
I know it's a thing, but it's like that's fucked.
Yeah.
That's so
It's
fucked.
super fucked.
Yeah.
Most
Hey, we
shy.
know you hate being recognized, so come here.
We're
Hey.
gonna
The
most
recognize you
quiet.
for not liking it.
Like find
Yeah.
some other quality that you can give.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
Hey, this kid doesn't talk at all. Hey, everyone, look at this kid.
Speech.
It's Game of Thrones in there, dude.
Oh my god. Hey, you look really good. Just want to let you know. Okay, bye. She's so awesome when she's talking to other people and like just how she coordinates herself. It's so fucking good. And I like, especially at the end when she's giving her whole speech to the bitchy girl and just like being like,
Mean girls,
yeah,
yeah.
she's like, yeah, you're really mean and like it's not cool and like, like she ends it on saying and, which is the best. She's like and then she walks away and I'm just like, oh, it's so great.
And she doesn't like look at them. She looks down at the ground.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
looking down at the ground the
Yeah.
whole time.
When
She's just like vomiting it out, and it's just it's the pain of like her not being like, this is awful, I don't want to do this, but like I gotta do this.
Yeah.
That
And
was
just-
like-
it was great.
Yeah, the scene where she gives her the note, like in the like the cafeteria, and the other one, like not the main girl, was just like, what? It's like, oh god, damn it!
Yeah.
It was just like, it was painful.
it was, but like
Bitch.
you hate them. Yeah. You
What?
What?
Oh, what? Yeah.
Yeah, that's so
But-
terrible. When she like Instagram messenger and he's like, "Hey, so my mom told me to invite you, so this is me doing that." And you're just like, "God damn, you suck so hard, and your birthday's gonna be sick."
Though when they were in the car,
Good
when the
thing
bitchy
we're
girl
men.
and her mom were in the car, and she was like, "Nobody uses Facebook anymore, Mom." I was just like, "Oh shit, do they not use Facebook anymore?"
Yeah,
They don't. They use Snapchat.
that's literally
and Instagram.
what Bo Burnham said it in an interview. He's on this podcast called Good One, where they talk about jokes, and he was just talking about his last stand-up special, and then this movie as well, promoting it. And he talks about how they would rewrite the script with the kids, like perspective, because there was things that were wrong that like weren't up to date because of how it is now. Like you couldn't have that perspective. So like literally he wrote a part with it like being like Facebook. Like it was probably like one of the messaging parts, like where she messages them on Instagram. It was probably something like that. And literally the
Elsie
child
Fisher.
actress was like,
Elsie. Yeah.
we don't use Facebook.
Yeah. No one uses Facebook.
And
so
he's like, oh, what?
he wrote it in as a joke because that's what like he found out when talking to her, and that's what she said. She was like, nobody uses Facebook. And so he was like, that joke is actually what Elsie Fisher said when she read the script.
Yeah.
And then they changed it to Instagram and Snapchat because that's what the kids use now.
Did you guys notice Bo Burnham on the school announcements?
No.
Did you notice his voice?
No.
I'm pretty fucking sure it was. It sounded exactly like him. But I remember I can't remember what he was talking about, but it was just like something over the announcements. It was totally his voice. And I was like, oh, cool. Like, it's like Stan Lee moment or some shit. Like,
It's a Tarantino moment. That's what Tarantino always or Hitchcock.
oh, yeah. A lot of directors do. I thought it was, I noticed it and I was like, oh, yeah.
I hope he makes more movies, honestly.
Fuck.
Scorsese does it.
No, he did it in Taxi Driver, though. He's the
Yeah.
guy in the cab who's like, I'm gonna kill that woman. Like, she fucked up.
Well, no, he also did it in what was that Nick Cage and John Goodman one? They were the ambulance drivers.
Bringing Out the
What?
Dead.
Yeah, he
What
did.
movie
He
is
was
that?
he was the
It's a 90s
he was
movie.
the dispatcher.
great.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure.
He was the
Let's all say
dispatcher.
Quentin Tarantino's lines in his movies. Those are good lines, right? To say on a podcast?
Yeah,
you
he
just
drops
say,
the
you mean
N-word.
the N-word? You just mean the N-word?
Yeah, thanks.
With the hard R, though.
You just-
Thanks,
just trying to get yourself-
Tarantino. Thanks.
You're just trying to get yourself demonetized?
But Samuel L. Jackson was standing there, so it's fine.
Hey, Samuel Jackson, you cool with this? All right, let's go. Running action.
Spike Lee's like, you can't say that, and Samuel L. Jackson's like, you haven't made a good movie in a while. He's making good movies. He can say whatever he wants.
Is it? What's
way.
Samuel L. Jackson is the gatekeeper.
Yeah.
For sure.
He's
when
like
it comes to that.
he like gave him permission. He gave Tarantino permission.
Oh God.
I'm the key.
Listen. It's fine. We have one on set.
He's in the film. All right.
All right. Hey, cool if I make this whole movie about it now.
The main character is Leonardo DiCaprio.
It's like a totally like way more complex version of Go Fish, and it's really fun. You should try it.
Stop.
And you would know that if you had ever tried it, but you're just too busy trying to be cool, and it's just like it's not cool.
It's perfect. That's exactly, yeah. That's how it goes. God.
So the time capsules were super that was a fantastic
The bookends.
trope that they had in that movie as well. Just with her digging it up and like fucking, just having all this anguish from her past self as well.
Yeah.
Like it is so fucking awesome. Her dad
Just
her dad is the
her
best.
dad did a great job. Yeah, just I hope whatever we're doing here today is positive.
Yeah.
What are you burning exactly? Oh, just my hopes and dreams.
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Dude, no, okay, so as a dad and everything, like, watching this movie, like,
true,
oh my
yeah.
God, like, the dad talking about, the girl asking him, like, do I make you sad? Like, because I would be sad if, like, I had a daughter like me, or if my daughter turned out like me, like, dude, so many things, and the things that I will get to with Sawyer and everything, but even now, just, like, being, like, when I am not made sad by him, but it's the same sort of thing. It's like it is upsetting to see him sad and to see like it or like see traits from me that like getting frustrated with things that like he's gotten from me, and seeing him deal with that and knowing that he has to deal with that and like be able to get past it and everything. It was a whole nother fucking layer to it, like watching it with dad eyes.
I'm
was
fucking
like,
sure
Yeah.
because the dad daughter relationship in this is fucking incredible.
It's crucial.
And it's crucial. It's a huge thing in the film. And
The sequence when she comes home from the bad car ride and the camera follows her inside, it's all that handheld, and then she
it's
comes in
quiet.
and all you hear is the dad going, "Hey, is everything okay? Hey, what's wrong? What's wrong?" And you just hear him saying that, and it's just like, that's the only sound you hear. And she runs up the stairs, and then she shuts you out of the room, just like she shuts her dad out of the room. So you're no longer with her. Then her YouTube monologue kicks in, and he goes in to comfort her. That scene fucked me up. Like, it told you so much about their relationship and about how he feels about her and about the place that she's in that moment. It's so hard. Like, yeah.
Josh Hamilton for president.
It was
Dude.
that was such an emotional like sequence. for
Dude,
me.
he's so
Dude. And
good.
the room being all fucked up and everything, dude, like she smashed a bunch of shit in the room. But
Yeah.
you don't know that, and then you just see,
kinda
you
see
suddenly notice it. Yeah, you just suddenly notice it like out of the corner of your eye. That was good. That was good.
It was
it was really good.
Effective.
Oh my lord.
Effective.
Yeah, and I love how the camera stays back. It doesn't go with him into the room. It's just like he goes in to comfort her, and then we as an audience stay back and just kind of watch.
Yeah.
So we need to talk about like the shadowing as well, like with the high schooler Olivia. That was like unexpectally positive. I honestly,
I was so thankful for it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
It was such a relief.
I was like, oh man, what is this gonna be like? And then it was just like, at first you're like, oh wow, this is great, but like, where's it going? You still think that something, crazy, and something does happen, but not in the way that I would have thought. I would have thought that maybe like
It happened in
Olivia
a-
was being a little fake or something.
happened in a much
But
more
she was
realistic way.
she was very genuine, which is awesome.
Yeah.
It was a good positive force in her life, in Kayla's life, which is fucking tastic. Like her calling her and just being like, oh my God, I just like didn't know if this was cool. And
Oh my God, it's so cool. That's why I gave you my number. You know, this is what it's for.
yeah, they're awesome. And she like puts, and like she gets invited to the mall and she like drops her stuff. And she's like, oh,
She like freaks out and then calls her back.
It's like, oh my God, I'm so sorry. Like
Yeah.
my reception is just like totally weird.
That was
So
so
good.
adorable. Yeah.
Yeah, it's
Oh
very
my God.
adorable. Adorable in a lot of scenes. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I thought the banana scene was
Oh shit.
the funniest
yeah,
shit.
Yeah, we gotta
in
talk
the
about
whole
that.
movie.
Yes, funniest part of the movie for sure.
I even wrote a note about it in my phone. I'm pretty sure you
Yeah.
hate bananas.
The way it like kept unfolding, I was like, "Oh my God, this is amazing."
The sound of the banana hitting the dead shirt.
Oh, so good.
Really funny. Really great banana sound.
Yeah,
I just like the whole. It's
Well, it was a nice like big comedic moment that like
Exactly.
there were like these little bits, but it was so realistic again of like in life, like you have like these little bits and then sometimes you have something fucking really embarrassing and like movie level funny happen in your life, and like that's that scene.
Yeah.
That's what I was just gonna say. That's exactly. I love your fucking brain, Dan, because it's exactly. It was literally set up like a fucking comedy bit.
it was almost like American
Like
Pie,
and it was just
like
it was just cut together,
lower-rated.
you know,
Yeah.
and realistic as shit. But it was literally fucking classic comedy
classic
writing.
comedy. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's fucking great. It was so good that just that whole bit of her like learning like that Aiden wants like these naked photos and then telling him, and he's like, do you do blowjobs? And then her looking up blowjobs and then her throwing her phone and breaking it while she's looking it up, and her dad comes in, and then moving on to the banana scene, like things that are banana shaped afterwards.
Yeah.
Dude, it was all so good.
It was so
It was
funny.
so good.
Oh my God.
The whole scene where she like crawls under the desks to go talk to Aiden was hilarious.
Yeah,
as
that
well.
was awesome.
Do you give blowjobs?
What?
The fuck?
She's like, what?
That fucking guy. God damn it.
That kid was so shitty, but it was so
He
funny.
was perfect. He was perfect
It
for
was
the
so
role.
funny, like the shit
Yeah.
with him flexing and like the fucking hot guy muscle music playing.
Yeah.
and shit.
He's just like little tiny boy. I love it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I love that. Yeah.
I just really liked Gabe.
Oh,
Gabe-
no,
Gabe,
was
like-
Gabe was
bad.
so good.
I just
Gabe
swam all the
really
way
good.
under.
The
So-
hold your
Just-
like breath underwater contest was great.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just him introducing himself, like you're just like, man, I hope that character comes back.
Yeah.
all of it. You want to see me do a handstand in the water? Oh, no, there's too many people.
Yeah.
Too many people in the
Yeah.
pool. Yeah, the water's definitely not calm enough.
He tries it again. Yeah.
Let's try it one more time.
I'm gonna try and do a handstand again. Yeah, the water's definitely not. Yeah, there's too many people here. Yeah. It's like, I've been that kid for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I was that kid.
Yeah, for sure.
I still am that kid. I really liked Gabe, and I loved them, you know, having the little date thingy at the end and everything. But then I was like, God damn it, when they made the Rick and Morty joke.
The Rick and Morty joke.
Honestly, I thought I
I thought it was appropriate.
I thought it was very
No, it
appropriate
was
as well.
appropriate. It was appropriate, and it was just upsetting because I was like, I like that show, but that was an appropriate joke for 13-year-olds.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, but that show's appropriate for 13 to 45.
That's what I'm saying.
You know.
Oh, yeah.
It's Adult Swim. Like, what were we doing? Like, come on.
Yeah, no, I was watching Adult Swim since I was like 8, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like, of course they're fucking watching it, and like, I don't know. I love that he's just like, if you need another sauce, like I like all sauce. I like all sauces equally, so it's fine if you want another one.
He's-
And
I got us
then he's like,
every
you know, we
sauce.
could use Szechuan sauce. Morty, we need, and he just like starts doing.
Keep doing the voice, Morty.
the
Keep doing the voice.
So good. Also, his archery like certificate as well. So good. He's like, let me just move this real quick. Actually, did
it's
you want to
stupid.
see this? It's stupid. You don't want to see this. And he's just like, oh, I might want to. Oh, it's just something stupid. And like, she's like, oh, I think it's pretty cool. And he's like, well, I think it's stupid.
So, yeah.
Well, think it's stupid. So
Should we?
But I mean that harkens back to like her with her fucking phone when she's like talking about the nudes under the desk and everything. She's like, "Oh my god, this is so embarrassing!" Like,
Oh, yeah.
oh my god, oh this
That's
is
so
I can't
like
believe
I've
I can't believe this just
done
happened.
that.
Yeah,
I've done that
for
for
sure
so
I've
many
done that.
times. It's so it's such a terrible quality in a human.
Yeah, you're just like, oh, oh my god, oh never mind, and then you realize the person didn't notice, and you
Yeah.
just are like, oh my god, oh wow,
It's
oh,
this
again.
like psychological trick that you think you can play on people when you're young.
yeah.
And you even like there's like times
works
you do it
sometimes.
to your parents, then you're like you look back, you're like, man, I was a fucking idiot. Like what the fuck? Was
That didn't
I
work at all.
What was
It
I trying?
100% transparent.
yeah. Like just everyone knows what you're doing.
So terrible.
Capacity down to 0.
Should we talk about the car ride?
Suppose so. I suppose
think
we should talk about
We
the
should-
car
We
ride.
should talk about it. So obviously, right at the beginning of the scene where
Okay, so
He's-
they leave them all. They leave them all, and they've had a great time. Like the high school girl, like she has been super nice to her and everything. And then you see him taking the one of the two guys that are there at the mall taking
Both of them home.
Olivia is it? Yeah, is it
Olivia,
Olivia,
yeah,
What's
Olivia
her
and
name? Yeah,
Kayla home.
Olivia.
Olivia.
But then
Yeah.
it's like the whole thing where it's like, hey, I'll drop you off first, Kayla. And then it's like, no,
As
don't
soon
worry
as
about
that
it. It's fine. You're close. And you're like, oh,
Well,
no, what's going to happen?
I started getting the weird vibe there, but when he parks the car, you're like,
Well, yeah, that's the
this is
fucking
gonna-
word.
this is
Oh
gonna
well, when
be
you
terrible.
when he parks the car, you're just like, is Bo Burnham really gonna put a rape scene in this movie?
Yeah.
yeah,
Like I was just like, oh god.
yeah,
Yeah.
you're like, oh no.
I honestly,
but I think that
I
think he
expect
understood
that far. But
well, I think he understood that all of us were gonna go there. Like this is about to be like this is gonna be something sexual and uncomfortable. Like and immediately you go there, right? So he knew that, and then he still makes it incredibly traumatic without anything actually happening. Like
Yeah.
she stands up for herself, and he like backs off, but then he manipulates the fuck out of her. But by telling her he's trying to do her a favor, and then she is so ashamed that she says, "Don't tell Olivia."
yeah, it's like a thing where like she's sorry and she regrets the moment.
Yeah,
and
well,
that's
yeah.
the fucking worst, and that's literally reality.
That's gaslighting.
That's
baby.
what happens.
That's all. Yeah.
exactly that's the
Ah,
that's the
God.
psychological manipulation. But that's all he had to do, and like he knew where our minds were gonna go with it, and then what we got was like less than that, but it was still almost just as bad.
Oh yeah.
He made it believable.
It was the
Also,
implication.
Yeah.
It flowed.
It didn't need to go as far as something
Right.
like
She
Yeah,
didn't.
no,
rape or
I
anything
say
like that.
I,
It was-
I said rape. I didn't mean like I thought it was gonna be more like a molestation.
yeah.
It didn't feel like we were watching that movie 13 with like Evan Rachel Wood, where it's all about like really fucked up shit.
Yeah,
It definitely like
it stayed in the
don't
realism
know.
zone.
right, exactly. The mood was
It wasn't
He
some
said
high
it-
school
it followed
sociopath.
through.
Yeah, he was just
Right.
he was just an asshole.
it didn't need to get dirty like that, and I don't know. I think
I
he
think
did really well with that scene.
I think he painted a picture. Yeah, he painted a realistic picture without actually like crossing a line in terms of like what he showed the audience.
what a fucking creep.
Yeah.
Just like in a neighborhood, like just stopping, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Yeah, that's fucked up.
Ugh, that guy sucks. Blackballed in fucking Hollywood for the rest of his life.
He just almost like looked like the kid that she had a crush on, but like a couple years later. Like
Yeah.
that was that kid a couple years
For
later.
sure.
Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
doucher.
Douchey.
For sure.
Well, I love also the line when they're at the mall by the other friend when he's just talking about like when did you get Snapchat, and he's just like 5th grade, and it's just like you got fucking Snapchat at 5th grade. Are you serious? We're not the same fucking generation. And Olivia's like, no, we're the same generation. She's like, no, we're not the fucking same generation. Things are moving a lot more quickly. And Bo Burnham even talks about that in that same interview from Good One. He talks about how like generation gaps are getting smaller and smaller because of the technological advances, and especially because of like app usage now. So apps are always changing. The apps that people are using in like as they're coming up in their critical years are changing as well. So the gaps are getting a lot smaller in like what you can
true,
do.
though. Yeah.
That's fucking insane.
When was the last
Yeah.
time you guys hung out with 18-year-olds? People born
they-
in the year
they s-
2000.
they-
I'm 29 now.
They
so
sat behind me in
I work
the
with them
in the
in
Hereditary
commercials.
movie, and
Do you feel like
pissed me
they're new
off.
they're like a different species of human?
No, okay, so just
Yeah.
just like this past weekend at Sawyer's birthday party, all of a sudden, all my cousins started singing a song,
Dude, that was so fucking
and
weird. for
I
me.
was
so weird.
I was fucking freaked out because like I've been that person who like starts singing a song and like all my friends and I start singing a song and it's like a song from when we were young or something. I had no idea what was fucking going on and I was like, what is happening? What is happening right now, guys? And they were like, it's the Phineas and Ferb theme song, and I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Because like I've heard of that show, but I was just like that never
Also,
entered into any
How
of
the
my
fuck do
fucking
15 of you
Yeah.
know how to sing this song all together in unison?
and
like
it was
that?
just such a weird thing. And like they're
so
just like
weird.
they're
It's
just
like
like
us
22,
breaking
you
out
know, they're
into
like
Cat
21,
Dog.
22.
like singing
But it's just
Bohemian
like just
Rhapsody.
that far. Yeah.
Yeah, that was really weird.
Cat dog.
It was
At your son's birthday party.
At that
real strange.
At that point, you go grab Bohemian Rhapsody and you go, no, if you're gonna sing a song in unison, you're gonna sing
They
this
probably
song in
know
unison.
Bohemian Rhapsody too.
I'm sure they know that as well. Like that's not a song from my youth.
But,
It's
yeah,
You'd
like-
have to sing
It's
something
not
like
nearly as culturally relevant
Cow
as
and
it is
Chicken.
to us or anyone else.
you sing some Nickelodeon like '90s shit, and they're like, "What?"
Yeah, you get
Yeah.
the Hey Arnold theme or something.
I was
Okay,
thinking that, but
fucking
all I
Hey
can
Arnold
think is
theme.
Helga Pataki going, "Hey Arnold." I can't think of the
Boom.
actual song.
Have you guys
Yeah.
watched Hey Arnold recently at all?
No.
I have watched
No, but
it.
that Ghost Train
I've
one
watched
is
it
real
very,
scary.
very much since. I probably haven't watched it in like 2 years, but I've watched it 2 years ago, and it's fucking great still.
It's so good. The music from that show, like I know why I love music now because I used to watch that show all the time. And the guy that does the music, composes the music, it's super jazzy and technical and like jazzy New York music.
Dude, like
so good.
they used to have
love
some
that
fucking
show.
great. I mean, and they still do have great people doing like music for cartoons and shit. Like Mark Mothersbaugh, didn't he? He did like Rugrats
yeah,
and
he
shit.
did
Yeah,
everything.
he did.
He did
yeah.
like a bunch of different cartoons.
Rugrats had a fantastic fucking music.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, ba-ba. Bo Burnham as a director making this is so fucking perfect. Just obviously because it's from his experience, which I think is so fucking awesome. I mean, obviously it's very, it's a life experience kind of thing that everybody goes through as well. Like anyone can kind of relate to this, but also just him being the kind of growing up in the early stages of YouTube and like becoming famous through that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's really fucking awesome. He does it so fucking well, and like, obviously, he portrays a girl that first of all, he portrays a girl that doesn't necessarily become famous, and he portrays a girl instead of a guy.
No, we'll see. Yeah, that's the thing is he wasn't. I saw an interview him talking about the movie, and this was him like trying to take a little bit more of a step out of his own because of his comedy is so personal
Yeah.
and everything. That this was him trying to get a little bit more out of his own head and do it from another perspective, rather than from his. This isn't really necessarily like his story.
I know.
This is,
I know it's not.
Yeah.
But it takes little pieces of it.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah.
obviously, you fucking write.
And I'm
you
sure-
write what you know.
Yeah.
And
He's just
But he successfully wrote a story about a young girl in middle school that is incredibly realistic.
yeah.
And that is
And all of his
impressive
fans
on
are
its own.
13-year-old girls, which he talks about as well. And he like almost did
Not
it.
all of his fans.
A lot of his fans, like 85% of his fans, he even says, are like 13-year-old girls. And then it's like, dudes who are like kind of like witty stuff and dick jokes, which is us. And I don't know. It's super interesting that he talks about why he didn't pick a guy as well to like do this film with, like a protagonist as a male, because it would literally just be about Fortnite. like, and like
Fuck
that's like what
Fortnite.
you see in the other like guy characters as well. Like you don't see like a lot of like 13-year-old girls are very emotional and like more honest with themselves.
Yeah.
way
Yeah, absolutely.
way more than 13-year-old boys.
Yeah. I was pretty sure I'm just playing a lot of like Warcraft 3
Yeah.
at the time. Yeah.
I was playing a lot of Zelda and like Halo and shit at the time.
Yeah, I was smoking weed, which definitely is. I mean, that should make for a good story.
Yeah, that is a good
I
story.
smoked-
It's made a lot of stories.
I did more drugs.
I
alone.
smoked so much weed.
You did more drugs then? Is that what you just said?
Well, I ate a pot brownie when I was in 7th grade, and that changed everything. Yeah.
Well,
How did it change everything though? I'm sorry. You have to tell this story. Give us your life tale. Your whole tale.
this is
Well,
this is the
told
story
really
of
in a
7th
short
grade.
story. Yeah, so my brother, who was a deadbeat asshole, addicted to cocaine and drugs, brought back a batch of brownies in the morning, and my mom had already gone to work, and my dad obviously had gone to work, and we were walking to the bus. So I ate the brownies, thinking that they were just like brownies, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, brownies for breakfast." And then later, I was sitting in like English class, and it felt like a reverse funnel.
Just
Like
Inception.
all the sounds just went, like my right ear went dead, and my left ear was just like I could hear everything reverberating, and it felt like I was in a cathedral. And then I broke out into the coldest sweat, and I was like, I gotta go home. And then I saw the movie Beauty Shop with Queen Latifah later that day. And I swear to God, that's a true fucking story. And I was stoned in the theater. I was stoned
In
for
the theater.
like 14 hours. And
Wow.
yeah,
That's crazy.
How was Beauty Shop?
it was really good. I love Queen Latifah. She's an amazing woman. I don't remember.
Girls
I don't
Trip
remember that
was
movie
fun.
fucking at all. I don't remember it at all.
Yeah, you were
Let me
12
guess,
and
it's like
high.
Barbershop,
How about
except
how
it's
about
got
that
Queen Latifah.
Steve Martin,
She's in the
Queen
bus.
Latifah bringing down the house movie? Remember that piece of shit?
Oh
I
my
love that
god.
movie.
I forgot about that movie.
I love
Steve
that movie.
Martin quit doing stand-up comedy and started doing terrible fucking movies. He
Yeah, it
did it. He
definitely wasn't
stopped
the
doing
jerk.
stand-up on principle,
He's doing it now. He
And
did that
then-
Martin Short special.
and then did that shit. Oh,
Dude, he's a banjo player. That's really what he is now. He's just like, I play banjo.
Dude, that special was something that parents all over, like 50-year-old parents all over the country loved.
Did you watch it? Because I
Yes, I did. No, I liked it too.
I couldn't
liked it
couldn't
too.
finish it. Like I was.
Oh, really?
I don't.
I can understand that.
It wasn't-
I understand that.
It
part.
wasn't
Did
because it was
Kermit
super
come
bad.
out?
It was just like I was like I'm not into this right now.
Yeah, no, it's like it's something that parents like to watch.
anyway, this film's fantastic. We all fucking enjoyed it immensely.
Yeah.
I can't wait to watch it again, and I can't wait to see more from Bo Burnham. Honestly, like this is not his first film with A24, and this is what he creates. Like, come on, Bo Burnham.
This is just the beginning.
yeah.
I
Bo
just-
Burnham, like even just his comedic career. Like, are you guys Bo Burnham fans? Like, do you like what?
Yeah.
Have you seen?
Yeah.
What was his last one before? Okay, so yeah, Ben.
Happy something.
Happy.
Make Happy.
Make happy.
Which we
Ben,
watched
have you
together
seen
the
Make
other
Happy?
night.
No.
Okay.
haven't.
Well,
It's
as
incredible.
a man who says to liking his comedic stylings, you need to watch Make Happy. Have you seen what?
I haven't seen any of his comedy.
Do you think
specials.
he?
Okay.
Do you think he likes
Okay.
Bo Burnham? Yeah.
Okay,
he doesn't
Ben.
strike me
I've
as
watched him do like roundtables with other comedians, and to be perfectly honest, they were shitting on him the entire.
Of course they are,
time.
because he's not a
Because he's not traditional at all.
he's not a
Yeah.
comedian. He's a fucking showman, is what he is.
Yeah, he makes
Yeah.
shows. Yeah.
So what really made me like Bo Burnham? Because all throughout high school, I mean, we were all watching Bo Burnham videos and stuff, and I was like, oh yeah. He was like a little too like,
He's really
He'd
witty.
make Helen Keller
funny.
jokes and stuff like that, and that was like what he
That's the thing.
that was what he
Yeah.
did. He's not that person anymore, obviously.
Right. I mean,
And he even talks about that as well. He's like, I'm
Make
ashamed of
Happy-
those. But
he's grown up.
What? And Make
Yeah.
Happy? Make Happy is fucking impeccable.
Yeah, it's a
And
perfect show.
you really need
and
to-
it's like it gets into heavy shit. I mean, it's the 8th grade of live TV, and it's funny as fuck.
I like him. I'm gonna watch
Dude,
it.
just from his first special, "Art Is Dead," that song "Art Is Dead," that's
Oh,
been
yeah.
one of my favorites for.
It's so good.
Yeah,
I love when he's. I can't remember if it's in What or. I think it's in What, where he's doing the song like, if you don't know what to say, just repeat stuff, repeat stuff, repeat stuff, repeat stuff, repeat stuff. And he's just like talking about a song, and he just lets to repeat stuff so many fucking times that it's like, oh yeah, I get it. And it's,
Yeah.
it's
I-
fucking hilarious.
I love his Make Happy. In Make Happy, he does the pandering bit and the stoned versus drunk making a peanut butter
Banging
and
a
jelly
peanut butter and
sandwich.
jelly is so good.
Which is hilarious.
It's actually pretty funny.
Well, and it's expertly executed.
I think with him, there is like I often apply it to music a lot. Like I missed a critical period, and for some reason or the other, I can't get into something.
Oh,
it's like
yeah.
Modest Mouse.
I understand.
I didn't listen to Modest Mouse when I was younger, like in high school and shit like that. So me trying to listen to them now, I don't have that like in my past.
It just sounds like high school music, but not yours.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
it's not, like, if you guys were watching Bo Burnham in high school, I was like listening to The Dice Man Cometh.
But-
I thought
but-
Andrew Dice Clay was the shit.
But
Wait,
even
what?
And,
that's
You like
funny as
Andrew
fuck.
Dice Clay?
yeah, I used
That
to
totally
do the
makes
nursery
sense.
rhymes all the fucking time.
Yeah.
But
You know,
But
little
in-
Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet.
Look at his little gold
I
chain
love the
right here.
fucking Dice Man. If I could go up on stage and like wear like a leather jacket with gloves and shit, I'd probably
You
do
can.
You totally
Will
can.
eventually.
I understand.
Yeah, the Dice Man Cometh.
I understand that perspective, but I'll also say that there is another perspective, which is mine, which is I had friends,
Yeah.
Better.
which I had friends.
No.
I had friends that were into Bo Burnham and showed me them all the time, but I didn't care and I didn't like him in high school. But it was more like after I had already known you, like through college, both you guys, and like after I'd left college, like 2013, living with Travis Dutton and Zach Grebus is when I got kind of brought into what Bo Burnham is sort of now, more so. Like, because that's when he came out with What? It was like in 2013 or something like that. And that stand-up special, I was just like, when they put it on there, like, oh, Bo Burnham's new stand-up special. And I was just like, oh, all right, let's watch it.
I mean,
Let's
I'm
watch
gonna
it.
watch it because I know that I'll like it.
And then I watched
I
it,
just
and I
haven't
was
watched it
like,
yet.
Just watch
oh,
Make Happy.
This
and
guy's
then-
a fucking genius.
Yeah.
He's a genius. Yeah, he's very
He's
smart.
very smart. His mind ticks in a fantastic way.
Ooh,
So, yeah, keep making movies,
I'll
Bo
watch it.
Burnham.
baby boy.
Please.
Baby boy. That's from what? Eternal
Baby boy,
Eternal
baby boy.
Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind.
Oh, and then
Baby
Kidding is coming
Watched
out.
like 20 minutes of that the other day. Got real sad.
Have you seen the preview for Kidding yet?
The Showtime
It's
series with
it's
Jim Carrey.
Jim Carrey and Michelle Gondry.
Yes. Yes.
No fucking.
Is that
way.
going to be on your Amazon account?
Yes.
That I
Yes.
went-
It will.
Great.
Is this a movie?
And
It's
the
a
password
TV
and the
show.
username is
It looks
a show?
It's
incredible.
going to be a show.
Michelle Gondry's writing a TV show
With Jim Carrey playing, and he's playing like a Mr. Rogers type who's very troubled.
Holy
Yeah,
fucking balls!
dude.
It's gonna be so good.
Yeah,
Hopefully
Jim
really
Henson
sad.
Company is doing all the puppets
When is this supposed to come out?
in a month.
yeah.
Oh, thank God! That's great. You know.
Yeah,
It's really
it looks
good.
so
That's
good.
good news right there.
That's another
excited.
whole podcast. That's
Yeah.
another whole podcast
Fuck yeah, that sounds
on
awesome.
on that show.
Well, our Legion podcast, we learned the dedication it takes
It's
to
hard
do a
as
weekly
fuck.
podcast.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
And you're welcome to. We're welcome to try it again.
Legion. Ben really likes Legion.
Every time I've watched a few episodes, but every time I start
he does.
watching,
He goes, all right, we're gonna turn this shit off.
exactly what happens, and then I watch I was watching it the other day. I turned on
How far have you got?
episode 5 of the first season.
Okay, so season 1's good, And the end of season 1
You gotta give it at least.
No. Season 1 is
good.
impeccable.
the
but
end of season 1 is really where you
it all literally will fucking unwind itself by the end of the season. It's not one of those things where it's like Dragon Ball Z where it's like it's so epic, but it's not that epic because it just keeps on going
Right.
and it's bullshit.
The same
It's
thing over
literal.
and over
It's
and over.
literally like it all fucking makes sense and it's insane.
And then season 2 is way crazier, and at the end, it all makes sense again. But like,
It doesn't really make sense yet.
yeah, because you're only on episode 5, you got to get through episode
Yeah,
8.
you have to, it's one of those things that you're like, huh? I don't get it. What
don't-
are you even making a show? And then you keep watching, and it's like, holy
Oh, you're
fucking
making the
shit!
best show.
Now I get it.
No, I kept watching because the dude from what's his name, Flight of the Conchords,
Jermaine Clement.
Jermaine.
Yeah, his name's
he's
Oliver.
Inside his fucking in his
Ice Cube.
like his astral plane,
Yeah.
and it's like, damn, that's fucking dope,
Dude.
Like that.
It gets way crazier.
He is
This is Bowie out to Bowie. Can you hear me out there, man?
Oliver and Lenny are the best fucking characters. They're so fucking good.
Lenny, like the what's her name?
Aubrey Plaza's
Plaza.
characters.
Aubrey Plaza. Yeah.
Her character gets so good. Oh my
Dude.
God.
Really? There's more of her?
Oh, she's in
consistent.
season.
So maybe I will watch
She's
She
in
goes all the way
season
through
2.
season
Now
two.
you're watching, yeah.
because I actually like physically
No,
love her.
She
her,
becomes-
her character has the most change, and it's insane.
Yeah,
That's cool.
She has
Okay.
she has one of the greatest arcs ever.
It's awesome.
I would not have expected that. All right.
Exactly. Keep on watching the goddamn show.
All right. Cool. Like that.
Okay, but anyway, 8th grade, yeah, good time. Fucking watching that
great
movie.
movie.
Watch that movie. We all love it. I give it 8 hard boners strapped duct tape to my leg. Out of 8.
Sounds fucking
I was gonna say 8 out of 8
So that's
grades.
8
I was
banana
gonna- yeah.
spiders for you over there. All right.
8 banana spider bites over here, baby.
Out of what? 8 or 10?
Hey, how many dicks you got?
4.
All right. Well, it's a triple load.
That's 2 dicks up right there.
I meant a double load. I'm so sorry. I don't know
A double
math.
load.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll cut it out when I say triple, and we'll dub in double. We'll dub in double.
The dubba.
Also, another thing that's so
Dub and
funny,
dubber.
as we're winding down, I know you guys haven't rated anything, and I'm going to totally skew this somewhere else. Not that you have to rate it, but we never talked about Nothing But Trouble, and at next podcast, we should just start talking about that for 10 minutes. And then,
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
That movie was very difficult to watch.
Very difficult.
Very, very hard
Yeah.
to watch. I never want to step into Dan Aykroyd's mind ever
Oh my
again.
God.
fuck
And I
no.
don't think anyone else
Fuck
does.
Dan Aykroyd.
That was Tupac's
Hey,
first
could I-
solo.
Really?
Yeah, he didn't even record
Dude.
anything yet. That was the
Okay.
reason
That was
shit.
Dan Aykroyd's. No, wait, we gotta say. it, right?
Yeah.
We will.
We'll talk about it
Yeah,
next
yeah,
time,
yeah.
okay?
Yeah.
I just want to
Yep,
bring it
yep,
up.
yep.
But anyway, any closing remarks on 8th grade at all?
Chipotle's
Nothing
but trouble.
Would anything like to?
Nothing but trouble.
What's his name?
Nothing but trouble.
My
That's
ass
honestly all
is
I-
on fire.
I tried to fight for days, but this Chipotle is not giving me the time of day. I need to say,
hey.
doody. Let's go watch a movie.
What is that?
That's Kyle. That's an old Kyle song, Chipotle. This Chipotle's nothing but trouble.
Oh
You
my
don't remember
God,
that?
I do remember
Kyle
that.
Daly?
Kyle Daly.
Yeah, Kyle Daly.
Hell yes.
I've got it saved in my email somewhere.
Everyone,
I do
Probably in my
everyone
email.
who's listening to this who doesn't know our friend Kyle, go look up the dadfocus.bandcamp.com and just listen to some of his music.
Fuck yeah.
It's
100% do it right now.
Treat yourself. Treat yourself to that.
Yourself.
That's Dad Focus.
The Dad
Bandcamp.com.
The Dad Focus.
The Dad Focus. TM.
And the Dad Focus is something that we all know about.
Yeah.
Mostly you, Dan. But it's when you're ignoring your children and looking off into the distance into a brighter future.
Or like your child's at the bottom of the pool and you're like, fuck, I should have focused.
But then you feel
Looking at that
a
grill.
slight sense of relief, and it's weird.
Yeah.
I always thought of the dad focus as like a hyper of just like on top of it all. Like
It
is
is.
Dad, your dad, dude.
Yeah.
You got to be on
He's
top of that
focused.
shit.
Jean shorts.
Yeah, but
It's because you're a
Nike,
dad,
and
dude.
Monarch.
It's because
like-
you
Yeah.
internalize that shit and turn it into like the dad.
Yeah.
focus.
You're doing that, but at the same time, all you're looking at is like a field off of a mountain.
Yeah. Love that field.
I could run
Fucking
free.
fuck that field. I'll dig a hole in that field and fuck it.
Your eyeballs just spinning rapidly in your head. That's
All right, everyone. Thank you for listening to Coming of Age
Thanks,
podcast.
guys.
Uh,
This was a fun
Thank you,
time.
Ben.
Ben,
Thanks, Ben.
thank you
Yeah,
so
thank you,
much
Ben.
for being on.
You guys came in my age, so I'm really happy this is my first time.
Yeah.
A lot
So
of fun.
over the next
Come in my age.
over the
Come in
next,
my age.
Coming of age. So over the next few weeks, we're going to talk about how like these different themes that we mentioned way earlier, like play out in different coming of age films. We're going to be doing Empire of the Sun, Submarine by Richard Ayoade, and
Ooh, that's a good movie.
it's a great movie. And then we're going to
I
do
love
My Own Private Idaho.
Oh, that's an even better movie, man.
So we got some good
Fuck yeah.
we got some good films like coming up, and we're gonna like kind of talk about how these different coming of age themes and like the historical themes of it are gonna show up in different ways in these films, and kind of how like modern culture and popular culture has kind of internalized the coming of age storylines. And
I'm very excited to watch Empire of the Sun, I must say. I've never seen it. None of us have ever seen it. Ben, have you seen it?
I don't think so. Who's in it?
It's a Steven Spielberg
Christian
film
Bale.
with Christian Bale as
As a
a young
child.
child.
Is he like a little newspaper boy?
no,
It's like him moving to
like India or something.
I think yes. I think it's
Bangladesh.
I have not.
it's an
I've
it's
seen
an
My
Asian
Own
country. I
Private
can't
Idaho.
remember exactly because I haven't seen the film, but I watched
I have
the
not seen Empire of the
I watched
Sun.
the Spielberg
The only
documentary.
movie I know with him.
I would think it would be Japan being called Empire of the Sun or China or something, but I don't know.
Yeah. Maybe it's Tibet.
Might be.
It might be.
I think it
Or
might be
Nepal.
Tibet
Empire
or
of the
Nepal.
Sun.
It's time.
Tibet and Nepal.
It's time to put
Tibet- hey,
Tibet
guys.
to
I got-
bed.
I gotta go to Tibet.
Hey, Tibet and Nepal.
Tibet or
Better or
Nepal.
worse.
Tibet and Nepal.
Tibet and Nepal.
Um,
Love us.
so
Tibet
yeah,
and Nepal Rudd.
I watched 40-Year-Old Virgin the other night.
yeah. Was that?
Really loved it.
is that a
Okay, we're
good
not
one?
talking about that anymore. We're saying
I watched
goodbye.
Rango the other day, guys.
Yeah. Hey guys, I watched this fucking shitty ass movie called Knocked Up. Just kidding. Those movies are good, but let's not talk about them
Well,
right now.
We're
Hey,
talking
Ben,
about-
you
I've
guys
been
remember
watching-
real-
I've been watching Jonathan
That's not what
Demme
any of
movies.
this is about. That's not what any of
Okay,
this is about.
let us just say, guys, if you're listening to this episode, you enjoyed it, go to our Instagram or our Twitter. Our Instagram is Coming of Age Pod.
Our Twitter is Coming of Age Pod _, and our Facebook is Coming of Age Pod 1.
Oh, is it? I didn't even know
yeah.
that. So fun. We're really we're scouring the land.
People have
all right, you
taken
guys are
this
number one.
fucking name on every platform in one of the different ways.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
like,
It progressively
like,
goes.
yeah,
like-
it just get like for some reason it just gets worse and worse on every platform. It
It's some
cannot
guy-
be uniform. Apparently, we're not allowed to have a uniform.
Eventually, if we ever
handle.
get big and we want to buy those, some guy will just be like, "Hey, man, I'll sell you the fucking
It's cool.
domain name
It's-
for $100,000."
And that's how the podcast turns into the serial killer podcast.
Yeah, because
I will
we
not
start
pay.
killing people.
Yeah, I'm going to kill you for the domain.
And it's on a permanent podcast now.
It's cool. Nobody uses Facebook anymore, anyways.
No, well,
Whoa,
actually,
boy.
quite a
Call back. Call back. Call back.
Call back. Oh, so
Okay,
call back.
It's call back. No,
Dude,
Let's call
fucking-
back.
Call that.
call that.
Yeah,
Cool
you called
stuff.
that call
I
back.
guess we need a Snapchat. it.
Call that.
We need a Snapchat. We have a Discord though, and that's going to be something that we like start utilizing in the future. Is our Discord?
Do we have a Steam account?
No.
Wait, what is that?
We've got a disc jockey.
Do we have a Twix? Are we on Twix?
We are going to do a Twitch thing soon.
I have a great idea.
Dude, I fucking love Twix. Like just candy,
Caramel,
the caramel,
wafer.
the caramel and the wafer.
You guys should
chocolate.
release a toll-free number for people to call, and then they can fucking listen to your podcast.
We're gonna do an email.
I want to drop an album that way. You call the phone number and you just listen to the music as if it was hold music, and
And it has to be a
Oh my
landline.
God. That's
And it's
amazing.
just
Something
something
like
from
that.
the beginning, so you have to
Yeah,
stay on the
yeah,
phone
you
for
can't-
a
you
like
can't
you
fast
can't.
forward.
Yeah, you can't get
you
back.
just
in the
have to
middle.
listen to it anytime you call, or it's like 24/7 Seinfeld reruns.
Okay.
Where it's like
And then if you
go
make
on
it,
the website-
Constantly
if you
play.
make it to the end, there's a fucking answering machine. You get to leave a message.
Hell yeah.
And then the little fucking jigsaw guy fucking bikes out of your closet. And then it's a whole fucking
And it's
thing.
Stan.
Yeah, you fall directly through the ground.
And that's the coming of age.
This house has people.
And he
in
goes,
it.
I'm just kidding. I thought it'd be funny. I'm gonna leave. I'm sorry.
I love you. I love you.
Oh my God. My coworker, which we should have on this podcast, his name is Rob. He's fucking hilarious. His name's Rob Goldman. And like, he's just a fantastic man. He was talking about,
That's one letter away from one of the victims of the OJ incident.
yeah.
Oh shit.
Ron Goldman.
Yeah, he was. Someone like messed up his name the other day, and my other coworker was like, "Oh, Rob, I spelled your name wrong." He's like, "What'd you spell? Silverstein?" I was like, "It's fucking fantastic." He's right
a good
on
joke.
there.
I like that.
But he was talking about, hey, if you went to hell or purgatory or whatever you believe in, or maybe not believe in, just as a thing, and there was one song that had to be playing the whole time. I was thinking about this while I was listening to classic rock. He was like telling me this, and he was like, I was listening to a lot of terrible classic rock, but then I was thinking, what if it was just Barney, and it was like, I love you, you
God
love
damn
me
it.
for the rest of eternity. And I was like, I could not fucking stand that shit. And he's the perfect amount of serious and beautiful. He's from Orlando. He literally has lived in Orlando for 5 years, and he does not know nearly enough of the same people as us.
Wow.
But he's
how
totally
big that
like
city
into
is.
music and shit. He listens to everything we listen to, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, where have you been?
Nice. Yeah.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to the podcast.
Yeah, thank you, everybody. I want to say one thing.
Thanks,
I
everyone.
want to say one thing before we end our coming of age first episode. This is the namesake of the entire podcast. Boyhood fucking sucks.
Oh yeah, we got to talk about Boyhood for a second, because did you see Boyhood, both of you?
I have not.
The Richard Linklater.
Yeah.
Boyhood? Yeah. I saw it.
It fucking sucks.
Exactly.
Yeah. They relied too much on the fact that, like, wow, he spent a lot of time filming it.
Boyhood is like
if you
the
spent so much
ultimate.
fucking time filming
Why
it,
is
make
it not a
good
better
fucking
movie? Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Try a little bit harder.
It
instead
was
of,
like that was it was like a gimmick film.
It was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It-
You know who
it
I
was
like,
just
though?
his entire actual
I
childhood.
love, what's her name? Patricia Arquette.
And Ethan
really
Hawke,
do.
they're both great. Like
Yeah,
they're both great.
I love
in it.
those two.
Yeah. But
But other than that, you
they're
fucking.
the only professional actors in it, and the rest of the movie's terribly written.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Ethan Hawke was like made for something like that with all the sunrise sunset shit. Like,
Well, yeah.
he's just like, oh yeah, I already know what's up. I'll do this over fucking 18 years, sure.
Sure. I have to show up for 2 days every 6 years. Okay.
Yeah.
It's just like my fatherhood. I'm just kidding. I don't know anything about it.
Thanks. Man.
Anyway, fuck that movie. Let's say goodbye.
Like Richard Linklater, hate that fucking movie. If you like that fucking movie, you're not gonna like our coming of age episodes. But fuck you, anyways.
Okay. Wow. Goodbye.
It's always a hostile ending.
Bye bye.
Bonne nuit.
Gucci.
All right, I'm done. Fuck you.